All right, all you chosen ones, hold up. You absolutely have times to see this before the final 3 days of October 2025. Seriously, don't scroll, don't click away. What's happening in our energetic field times right now? Times is a once-in-a-generation transit, a cosmic gateway that most of humanity is gonna sleepwalk right through. And you, as a chosen one, can't afford to be one of them. The universe is whispering now, but in these final days, it's gonna start shouting. And if you're not ready for the frequency of that call, the shift could feel jarring, confusing, even downright scary. But for those who are times aware, who times understand the signs, this isn't an ending. It's the beginning times of everything you've been asking for. We're not just talking about the end of a month here. We're talking about the final critical moments of a massive energetic transit phase that's been building all year long. The bridge between the reality you've known and the 5D timeline that's anchoring into Gaia is at its absolute thinnest during these last 72 hours of October. The veil isn't just thin, it's dissolving completely. This is a direct warning, times an urgent invitation. Before November hits, before the planetary energies lock into their new configuration, there are 8 strange, powerful, and deeply spiritual signs that every single awakened soul on this planet will experience. The last 3 are the most potent, the most undeniable, but you can't ignore any times of them. Missing these signs is like trying to navigate a ship in a raging storm with no compass. You'll be tossed around by the waves of collective fear and anxiety. But seeing them, understanding them, and embracing them, that's how you take the helm of your own reality and steer yourself directly into the harbor of your highest destiny. The vast majority of the world will look at these last days of October as nothing more than a simple transition from summer to autumn. They'll be totally consumed by deadlines, by mundane worries, by the illusion of the material world. They'll see the leaves on the trees changing color, but they'll be completely blind to the profound alchemical shift happening within their own spiritual DNA. They'll feel the chill in the air, but they'll be numb to the cosmic currents that are rewriting our very consciousness. This is the great separation, not of people, but of times, frequencies asterisk. And if you're hearing this message, it's because your soul has already chosen the frequency of awakening. You've been feeling it for weeks, maybe even months. That subtle but persistent feeling that something enormous is on the horizon, that sense of anticipation mixed with a strange, groundless anxiety. That's not your imagination. That's your inner guidance system, your spiritual antenna, picking up the vibrations of this incoming celestial wave. The common belief is that spiritual growth is a slow, gradual process. But the truth is quite the opposite. The truth that ancient mystics and shamans have always known is that there are moments, specific cosmic windows, where quantum leaps are not only possible times, but inevitable times for those who are prepared. We're in one such window times right now, asterisk. This isn't just a simple energy shift, it's a full system recalibration. The universe isn't just turning a page, it's shutting an old book filled with stories of limitation, struggle, and separation. And it's opening a brand new one, whose pages are still unwritten, waiting for to script a new reality of sovereignty, abundance, and unity consciousness. So let's get started. Let's decode the sacred messages the universe is sending you. The first of these 8 powerful signs is a profound distortion and warping of your perception of time. You may have already noticed this. Days seem to bleed into one another with no clear distinction. You might look at the clock, see that it's 1:00:00 a.m., get lost in a task or a thought for what feels like mere minutes, and when you look again, it's 4:00 p.m. The entire afternoon has just vanished. Conversely, you might experience moments that stretch into eternity. A 5-minute meditation might feel like a 2-hour journey through the cosmos. A single, meaningful conversation could feel like it contains the depth and weight of an entire lifetime. This isn't a sign that you're losing your mind or becoming forgetful. This is a critical indicator that you're decoupling from the rigid linear 3D matrix of time. The three-dimensional construct of time is a cage for consciousness designed to keep you locked in a cycle of past regrets and future anxieties, preventing you from accessing the infinite power of the present moment. As your frequency rises to match the incoming 5D energies, you begin to perceive time as it truly is, fluid, cyclical, and simultaneous. You're starting to operate on galactic time, on soul time. The sensation of time speeding up is your consciousness accelerating. The feeling of it slowing down is your awareness deepening into the quantum field of the now. When you experience this, don't panic. Just breathe. Place your hand on your heart and say, "I am anchored in the eternal." Now you're witnessing the scaffolding of the old matrix dismantling in real time. The second strange sign that's intensifying for all chosen ones is a dramatic heightening of your physical senses, often bleeding into the realm of synesthesia and psychic perception. This goes far beyond just being more sensitive to loud noises or bright lights, although that's certainly a part of it. You might begin to see subtle shimmers or sparkles of light in your peripheral vision. These are interdimensional beings, guides, or pure energetic information becoming visible to you. You might start to see faint auras of color around people, plants, or even inanimate objects. Your hearing will also shift dramatically. You could begin to hear a high-pitched frequency or a gentle humming sound, especially in moments of deep quiet. This isn't tinnitus, it's the sound of the universe. Some call it the music of the spheres. It's the audible vibration of the higher dimensions. And your auditory senses are upgrading to be able to perceive it. Your sense of smell will become incredibly acute. You might smell phantom fragrances like sandalwood, lavender, or roses out of nowhere, which is often a sign of a specific guide or angelic presence making themselves known to you. Or you may smell the scent of rain on dry earth, even when the sky is clear, a sign of a great spiritual cleansing. This sensory upgrade happens because the veil between the physical and non-physical worlds is thinning to the point of transparency for you. Your body, your physical vessel, is undergoing a profound biological ascension. It's retuning itself to become a more sensitive instrument, capable of perceiving the vast spectrum of reality that exists beyond the 5 limited senses. You're not just a body, you're a walking, talking vortex of energy. And your senses are the dials that are being tuned to the frequency of the cosmos itself. If you felt time distorting around you, or have noticed your senses becoming strangely, almost supernaturally sharp type, I feel the shift in the comments below. Let's anchor this collective awareness together and magnify its power. Your declaration is a ripple in the quantum field. Now we move to the third powerful sign, which is happening in your subconscious realm. Your dream state is becoming a classroom, a portal, and a prophecy. Pay very close attention to your dreams during these last days of October. because they're no longer just random firings of neurons or the processing of daily stress. Your dreams are now direct, unfiltered communications from your higher self, your spirit guides, and the collective consciousness. You'll notice one of three distinct patterns. First, you'll experience incredibly vivid lucid dreams, where you're aware that you're dreaming and can actively participate or ask questions. In these dreams, you may be taken to classrooms, libraries, or temples of light, where you're being taught sacred wisdom, shown new healing modalities, or given direct guidance about your life path. When you wake up, you'll retain the information with perfect clarity, as if you just attended a real-life lecture. Second, your dreams will take on a prophetic quality. You may have dreams that show you glimpses of future events, either in your own life or on a global scale. These aren't meant to frighten you, but to prepare you, to show you the probable timelines so that you can navigate them with grace and make choices from a place of empowerment. Third, you'll have powerful visitation dreams. Loved ones who have crossed over, or even historical figures and ascended masters, may appear in your dreams to offer you comfort, reassurance, and critical messages for your journey. These dreams will feel profoundly real, more real than your waking life, and you'll wake up with an overwhelming sense of peace and love. The reason for this shift is that as you sleep, your conscious mind, with all its skepticism and doubt, gets out of the way, allowing your soul to travel freely in the higher dimensions. The dream space has become the primary training ground for your ascension. Keep a journal by your bed and write down everything you remember the moment you wake up. These dream messages are the breadcrumbs your soul is leaving for you to follow through this monumental transit. The fourth sign is the one that impacts you most viscerally on a physical and emotional level: the great cosmic purge. As the high-frequency light of the October equinox gateway continues to flood our planet, it acts like a brilliant light being shone into a dusty room. Every corner, every shadow, everything that has been hidden must come to the surface to be seen, acknowledged, and cleared. For you, this will manifest as a powerful and sometimes uncomfortable physical and emotional detox. Physically, you might be experiencing what is commonly called ascension flu, bouts of extreme fatigue that come out of nowhere, body aches, headaches, especially around the crown of your head, digestive issues or flu-like symptoms that aren't related to any actual illness. Your body is literally shaking off a lifetime of dense, low vibrational energy. It's releasing cellular memories of trauma, fear, and limitation. Emotionally, this purge can be even more intense. You may find yourself experiencing sudden, overwhelming waves of sadness, anger, or grief, often for no apparent reason in your current life. You might cry at the drop of a hat. These aren't necessarily your times, emotions. You're processing and transmuting not only your own past life karma, but also the collective grief of humanity. Simultaneously, you'll feel an incredibly strong, almost compulsive urge to purge your physical environment. Missing these signs is like trying to navigate a ship in a raging storm with no compass. You'll be tossed around by the waves of collective fear and anxiety. But times, seeing times them, times understanding times them, and times embracing times them. That's how you take the helm of your own reality and steer yourself directly into the harbor of your highest destiny. The vast majority of the world we'll look at these last days of October as nothing more than a simple transition from summer to autumn. You're not falling apart, you're shedding a skin that has grown too tight. You're making room for the magnificent, ascended version of you that is waiting to be fully born in the light of November. This clearing is the sacred preparation for the miracles that are about to unfold. We've traversed the first 4 signs: the warping of time, the upgrade of your senses, the prophetic classroom of your dreams, and the great physical and emotional purge. These are the foundational shifts: the clearing of the vessel, the initial recalibration of your entire being to withstand the sheer force of what is coming. But now, we move deeper into the heart of the transit. We move into the signs that aren't just internal sensations, but are actively and dramatically reshaping the holographic reality you perceive around you. The next signs are where the rubber meets the road, where the spiritual becomes undeniably physical, altering your relationships, your career, your finances, and your very understanding of how reality is created. What you're about to hear isn't for the faint of heart. It's the advanced level curriculum for the ascending master, and the final 3 days of October are the final exam. Pay very close attention, because the 5th powerful sign every chosen one is now experiencing is the great soul group realignment and the sudden, often jarring dissolution of old energetic contracts. If your social circle has felt like it's been put into a blender lately, if long-term friendships are suddenly dissolving over seemingly minor issues, if family dynamics have become unbearably tense, or if romantic relationships have abruptly ended, leaving you in a state of shock and confusion, you're not alone. This isn't a punishment, it's a divinely orchestrated recalibration of your soul's relational grid. The common belief, the 3D psychological explanation, is that people simply grow apart, that interests change, that conflicts arise. But the contrarian 5D truth is far more profound and far less personal. What you're witnessing is a fundamental law of quantum physics playing out in your life, energetic resonance. As your personal frequency has been rising, you've literally begun to vibrate at a different reality channel. The people in your life who are choosing consciously or unconsciously to remain in the denser frequencies of fear, victimhood, and limitation can no longer sustain a connection with your new energetic signature. The frequency gap has become too wide to bridge. Think of it like this. For years, you've been a ship sailing alongside a fleet. You traveled at the same speed, in the same direction, navigating the same waters. But as you've done your inner work, healing your traumas, expanding your consciousness, connecting to your heart, you've upgraded your vessel. You've hoisted a new sail, one designed to catch the solar winds of the higher dimensions. Now you're accelerating. You're moving faster and into clearer waters. The other ships in your old fleet, still operating on their old engines, simply can't keep up. From their perspective, you're vanishing over the horizon. From your perspective, they're fading into the distance. There's no blame here. It's not about you being better or more evolved, it's simply vibrational physics. It's the universe in its infinite wisdom and compassion, ensuring that you're surrounded by a resonant field that supports your continued expansion. Clinging to these old connections out of guilt, obligation, or sentimentality is like throwing a heavy anchor off the side of your accelerating ship. It will only create immense drag, stress your vessel, and potentially pull you back into the stormier waters you've worked so hard to leave behind. During these final days of October, This sorting process will reach its peak intensity. The universe will present you with final opportunities to release these soul contracts with love and grace. You may receive a sudden text or email that makes it clear a connection is over. An argument may erupt that serves as the final catalyst for separation. Or in some cases, people may just quietly ghost you, fading out of your reality without a word. Because on an energetic level, you've already become invisible to each other. Your task isn't to chase them. Your task isn't to try and fix them or convince them to sail with you. Your task is to bless them, to thank them for the lessons and the journey you shared, and to release the energetic cord with love. Grieve the loss, for it is real. But don't mistake an expired contract for a cosmic failure. Every soul who has ever entered your life did so for a reason: to teach you, to challenge you, to hold up a mirror. Many were karmic contracts designed to help you balance old energies. And now the work is done, the debt is paid, the contract is complete. This great clearing isn't leaving you empty, it's creating a sacred vacuum. And as you know, the universe abhors a vacuum. As these old souls depart, be prepared for the sudden, synchronistic, and electrifying arrival of your true soul family. These are the beings who are a vibrational match to your ascending self. You'll meet them in the most unexpected ways. Through a chance encounter in an online group, at a workshop. The connection will be instantaneous. It will feel like you've known them for lifetimes. Conversations will flow effortlessly for hours. They will truly see you in a way no one ever has before. They'll speak your language of energy, frequency, and consciousness. They won't drain you, they'll energize you. They won't doubt your spiritual experiences, they'll validate and amplify them. This is your monad, your true soul cluster, the support system divinely designed for the next phase of your mission. This isn't a hope or a fantasy, it's a spiritual guarantee. But they can't fully anchor in your reality until the space has been cleared. So during these final potent days, take inventory of your relationships. Who lifts you up? Who pulls you down? Be brave, be honest, be willing to let go. Stand in the sacred emptiness, even if it feels lonely for a moment, and hold the faith that the universe is orchestrating a reunion more beautiful than you can possibly imagine. The loneliness is a temporary illusion. The coming connection is an eternal truth. You're not losing people, you're gaining your tribe. If you've felt this profound shift in your relationships, if you've had to release people you once held dear, and if you're calling in your true soul family, now take a deep breath and type release. And I receive in the comments. Affirm your readiness to embrace the new connections that are destined for you. You're creating a powerful beacon of light for your tribe to find you. Now hold your center, because we're moving to the sixth and perhaps most reality-bending sign of this entire transit. This is the sign that the matrix itself is glitching, that the laws of the old world are being superseded by the higher physics of the fifth dimension. The sixth sign is the complete collapse of linear manifestation and the activation of instantaneous creation. Let that sink in for a moment. Everything you've been taught about achieving your goals, the hustle, the grind, the struggle, the long, arduous journey from point A to point B, is a relic of an obsolete reality program. That program is being decommissioned. In the 3D matrix, there was a significant time lag between the moment you had a desire, a thought, an intention, and the moment it appeared in your physical reality. This lag was a buffer, a safety mechanism in a low-frequency environment where consciousness was largely unfocused and dominated by fear. Your task isn't to chase them. Your task isn't to try and fix them or convince them to sail with you. Your task is to bless them, to thank them for the lessons and the journey you shared, and to release the energetic cord with love. Grieve the loss, for it is real. But don't mistake an expired contract for a cosmic failure. Every soul who has ever entered your life did so for a reason, to teach you, to challenge you, to hold up a mirror. What does this look like in practical terms? It means that the gap between your thought and its physical manifestation is shrinking to near zero. You'll think of a friend you haven't spoken to in years, and your phone will ring moments later with them on the line. You'll realize you need a specific piece of information, and you'll randomly open a book to the exact page that contains the answer. You'll have a sudden, unexpected bill to pay, and within hours, an unforeseen check will arrive in the mail, or a new client will appear covering the exact amount needed. This isn't luck, this isn't coincidence, this is the new physics. You're functioning as a powerful, conscious creator in the quantum field. Your thoughts, and more importantly, your feelings, are the vibrational instructions that are collapsing the wave of infinite potential into a specific particle of experience. And it's happening at an unprecedented speed. The universal energy is now so pliable, so responsive to your consciousness, that it morphs and shapes itself around your dominant vibration in real time. This is exhilarating, empowering, and a sign of your incredible spiritual growth. However, this activation comes with a profound responsibility and a critical warning, especially during the energetically supercharged final days of October. This power works in both directions. Just as your thoughts of joy, abundance, and love will manifest with breathtaking speed, so too will your thoughts of fear, lack, and doubt. If you're focused on what you don't want, you will create it instantly. If you complain about not having enough money, you'll manifest more bills. If you worry about getting sick, you'll feel your energy drain. If you harbor resentment towards someone, you'll attract more conflict into your life. This is the final exam in mental and emotional mastery. The universe is asking you, can you hold the frequency of your desired reality even when your 3D eyes don't see it yet? Can you be a disciplined steward of your own focus? The key to navigating this is to shift from asterisk thinking times about what you want to times feeling times into the reality of already having it. Don't just visualize a healthy bank account, asterisk. Feel times the profound peace, freedom, and security that it brings you times right now, asterisk. Don't just imagine a loving partner, embody the feeling of being cherished, adored, and deeply connected in this very moment. Gratitude is the master key. When you flood your being with gratitude for what you already have, and even for what is still on its way, you're emitting the most powerful creative frequency in the universe. You're telling the quantum field, more of this, please. During these last 3 days, be radically mindful of your inner dialogue. Catch every negative thought, every word of complaint, every vibration of lack. Don't judge it, simply acknowledge it, and consciously pivot to a thought and feeling of gratitude and empowerment. Pay very close attention to your dreams during these last days of October, because they're no longer just random firings of neurons or the processing of daily stress. Your dreams are now direct, unfiltered communications from your higher self, your spirit guides, and the collective consciousness. You'll notice one of three distinct patterns. First, you'll experience incredibly vivid, lucid dreams, where you're aware that you're dreaming and can actively participate or ask questions. The synchronicities will become so frequent and so specific that they'll shatter any remaining ounce of skepticism you may have held. Numbers like 111122227777 will appear everywhere, not just as signs, but as confirmations that your thoughts are in perfect alignment with the creative flow of the cosmos. You'll see your desires manifest in small, magical ways. At first, a parking spot opening up, finding a lost item, hearing the perfect song on the radio. The universe is training you, helping you build your faith and your creative confidence with these small miracles. It's encouraging you to trust this new power to play with. This is no longer a spiritual theory. This is your new, lived reality. You're being called to step out of the audience and into the director's chair. The power that creates worlds is flowing through you with an intensity you've never experienced before. Every single thought is a prayer, and every feeling is an instruction. The universe isn't just listening, it's responding in the blink of an eye. It's crucial to acclimate yourself to the incredible speed of these changes. As we move into November, your manifestations will increase exponentially. Things that once required years of effort will now materialize in mere weeks. What previously took weeks will happen in days, and what took days will manifest instantly. This is your inherent right as a sovereign creator. The old, outdated paradigm of struggle is finished. Welcome to the new reality where creation is instantaneous. Use this power wisely, because with every thought you choose to focus on, you are shaping the future not only of your own life, but also of the new earth itself. Take a moment now and really feel this power flowing through your veins. Feel the truth of it resonating deep within your bones. You are a creator. Your power is limitless. To really anchor this powerful activation into your being, go to the comments section and declare with unwavering conviction, "I am a master creator." Let the universe hear that you are ready. Allow every single cell in your body to vibrate with this undeniable truth. You are claiming your sovereignty right now, and there are signs which we haven't even discussed yet that will prove to you just how truly powerful you are. Prepare yourself, because we are about to enter the sacred space of the final, most potent signs of this entire cosmic event. We have already journeyed through the seismic shifts that are fundamentally changing your inner and outer worlds. You are feeling time itself bend and stretch around your consciousness. Your physical senses are being honed into instruments of higher perception. Your dreams have become a direct line to the divine, a sacred classroom for your soul's ascension. You have endured the great cosmic purge, releasing lifetimes of dense energy from both your physical and emotional bodies. You have witnessed the great soul group realignment, releasing old karmic contracts and creating space for your true soul tribe. And most profoundly, you have felt the very mechanics of reality shifting beneath your feet. As the time lag collapses and you step into your power as an instantaneous creator. Each of these signs is a miracle in and of itself, a testament to the incredible inner work that you have been doing. But now it's time for us to talk about the final two signs. These are the capstones of this entire transit. These aren't just indications of the shift. They are times the shift embodied and made manifest. They are the undeniable proof that you have crossed a personal and collective threshold, a point of no return. The experiences we are about to explore are the most sacred, the most intimate, and the most powerful of all. They represent the universe's final confirmation of your status as one of the chosen ones, a way shower, a pillar of light for the new earth. Listen with your heart wide open, because what I'm about to share will resonate in the very core of your being, awakening memories of a truth you've always known. The seventh strange and powerful sign, which is intensifying for all awakened souls in these final days of October, is the spontaneous activation of your dormant spiritual gifts and the direct, unmediated experience of your multidimensional nature. This is where the training wheels come off completely. For years, maybe even your entire life, you may have read about spiritual abilities like clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, or channeling. Perhaps you considered them rare gifts, reserved for a select few mystics or gurus. That whole belief system is now outdated. The high-frequency light bathing our planet during this transit isn't just clearing out density, it's actively switching on dormant strands of your spiritual DNA. It's unlocking the latent codes within your cellular structure that hold the blueprint for your full, multidimensional human potential. What this means in your direct experience is that these gifts will begin to surface spontaneously, often without any conscious effort on your part. You might be in the middle of a conversation with someone and suddenly see a clear image flash in your mind's eye. A scene from their past, a symbol that's deeply meaningful to them, or even a vision of a potential future. This is clairvoyance activating. You might be walking in nature and suddenly hear a clear, loving voice in your mind that isn't your own, offering a piece of profound wisdom or guidance. This is clairaudience opening up. You might find yourself walking into a room and immediately feeling the emotional energy of the space and everyone in it as if their feelings were your own. This is clairsentience, your empathic abilities coming online in their full power. You may even find yourself typing an email or journaling, and suddenly the words begin to flow with a wisdom and eloquence that feels far beyond your own mind, as if another higher consciousness is speaking through you. This is the beginning of conscious channeling. Don't be afraid of these experiences. They are as natural to your true self as breathing is to your physical body. You are simply remembering who you are. You are a multidimensional being of light, having a temporary human experience, and these abilities are your innate senses in the higher realms. The reason they are activating now with such intensity is that they are essential tools for the next phase of your mission. Numbers like 1111222777 will appear everywhere, not just as signs, but as confirmations that your thoughts are in perfect alignment with the creative flow of the cosmos. You'll see your desires manifest in small, magical ways. At first, a parking spot opening up, finding a lost item, hearing the perfect song on the radio. The universe is training you, helping you build your faith and your creative confidence with these small miracles. It's encouraging you to trust this new power to play with. Alongside these abilities, you'll begin to have direct conscious experiences of your multidimensionality. During meditation, you might suddenly find your consciousness leaving your body and traveling to other star systems. You might have vivid waking life memories, surface of past lives in Atlantis, Lemuria, or even on other planets. If every fearful thought manifested instantly, the world would have descended into chaos long ago. But as your frequency rises, as you ascend into the 5D energetic bandwidth, that time lag is collapsing. The buffer is being removed. You're graduating into a new level of creative mastery, and the universe is handing you the keys to the kingdom of instantaneous creation. You are becoming consciously aware of the vast, eternal, multidimensional being that you truly are, existing across countless dimensions and timelines simultaneously. In these moments, all fear, all doubt, all sense of separation will dissolve, and you'll be filled with a bliss and a peace that surpasses all understanding. This isn't just a fleeting spiritual high. This is a glimpse of your home frequency. It's the state of being you are destined to inhabit permanently as you fully anchor into the 5D reality. Embrace these activations, play with your new senses, trust the information you are receiving. You're not going crazy. You are finally becoming sane in a world that has been asleep for eons. You're a bridge between worlds, and your very being is living proof that heaven isn't a place you go to, but a frequency you embody. If you felt these sacred gifts awakening within you, if you felt the presence of your guides or had memories of other lives surface, honor this profound moment of remembrance. Go to the comments and joyfully declare, "I remember who I am." This affirmation sends a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready to fully embody your multidimensional mastery. You're stepping into your divine inheritance. And now we arrive at the final destination, the 8th and most important sign of this entire transit. This sign is the culmination of all the others. It's the purpose, the reason, the ultimate outcome of this entire process of awakening and ascension. It's the one thing that will change everything, not just for you, but for the entire planet. The 8th sign is the unwavering, unshakable, and profoundly peaceful call to your divine mission. After the purging, after the recalibrating, after the activations, what remains is clarity. A silence descends upon your being. And in that silence, you'll hear a new voice, the voice of your soul, speaking with a clarity and a certainty that drowns out all fear and all doubt. This voice won't speak of what you times should times do, but of what you times are asterisk. It will reveal to you the unique, sacred purpose for which you chose to incarnate on this planet at this exact moment in cosmic history. For some, this mission will be grand and public. You may feel an undeniable pull to become a healer, a teacher, a writer, a conscious leader, a creator of new systems for a new earth. The ideas will flow to you with divine inspiration. The path will illuminate before you, one step at a time, and you'll be filled with a passion and a drive that isn't born of ego, but of pure divine will. You'll feel as if you are being guided by an unseen hand, and synchronicities will line up to support your every move. Doors that were once locked will swing open. Resources you need will appear as if by magic. The right people will show up at the perfect time. The universe is conspiring to help you fulfill the mission you were born for. But for many others, the mission will be quieter, more internal, yet no less profound or important. Your mission may simply be times the frequency, to be a silent anchor of light in your family, in your workplace, in your community. Your purpose may be to hold the frequency of peace in a world of chaos, to embody unconditional love in a world of judgment, to maintain your sovereignty in a world of manipulation. Don't underestimate the power of this mission. A single human being holding a stable, high frequency of love and light can transmute the fear and negativity of thousands of others. You're a walking, talking acupuncture needle for Gaia, simply by being your authentic, heart-centered self. You're healing the planetary energy grids. You're creating a stable field of light that allows others to awaken more gently. In these final days of October, the clarity of your specific mission, whether it's one of doing or one of being, will become undeniable. The things you once thought were important, the career you were chasing, the material possessions you were accumulating, the societal approval you were seeking, will all fade into the background. They'll seem like a distant dream. The only thing that will matter is the deep, soul-level fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with your divine purpose. You'll no longer be willing to trade your life force for anything that isn't in resonance with your soul. A profound sense of peace will settle over you, a peace that comes from knowing exactly why you're here. The frantic searching is over. You have arrived. You are home. This isn't the end of your journey, but it is the end of the journey of seeking. From this point forward, your journey is one of creation, of service, and of joyful expression of the divine being that you are. This final sign is the universe's graduation gift to you. You've passed the tests. You've cleared the karma. You've remembered who you are. Now it's time to do what you came here to do. The new Earth isn't just a future possibility, it's a reality being built in this very moment by every single chosen one who answers this sacred call. And in these final, potent, energetically active days of October, that call will become a symphony that you can no longer ignore. The time for preparation is over. The time for your mission is now. But before you take a single step into the sacred protocol of the final 3 days, there's a critical intermediary stage you must first be prepared to face. It's a test. It's the final guardian at the threshold, the last great challenge presented by the very reality you're about to transcend. For in the immediate aftermath of that profound, soul-shaking clarity of your divine mission, after the bliss of remembrance settles, a shadow will rise to meet it. Don't be alarmed, because this isn't a sign that you've failed or that the clarity was an illusion. It's in fact the ultimate confirmation that you're on the correct path. This shadow is the death rattle of the egoic mind. It's the 3 deconditioned personalities' last desperate stand against its own dissolution. Having just witnessed your direct communion with the infinite, the finite self is terrified. Its entire identity, built on limitation, comparison, and the need for control, is facing imminent extinction, and it won't go quietly. This final test will manifest as a tidal wave of doubt, logic, and cosmic-level imposter syndrome more potent than anything you've ever experienced. Your mind, the very instrument that has kept you safe in the 3D matrix for so long, will suddenly flood with 1,000 seemingly rational arguments against your divine purpose. It's the state of being you are destined to inhabit permanently as you fully anchor into the 5D reality. Embrace these activations. Play with your new senses. Trust the information you are receiving. You're not going crazy. You are finally becoming sane in a world that has been asleep for eons. You're a bridge between worlds, and your very being is living proof that heaven isn't a place you go to, but a frequency you embody. Your task here isn't to fight this voice. It's not to argue with it or to try to reason with it. To engage with it on its own terms is to give it your power. Instead, you must become the silent observer. You must anchor yourself in the unshakable peace of your heart, the very space from which the clarity of your mission first emerged, and simply watch these thoughts and fears arise and fall like storm clouds passing in a vast empty sky. They aren't you. Simultaneously, the matrix itself will conspire to distract you. A sudden, unexpected drama will erupt in your family. An old conflict you thought was resolved will resurface. An urgent but ultimately meaningless task will demand your immediate attention. These aren't random occurrences. They're the final snares of a dying paradigm designed to pull your focus away from the silent, powerful truth of your soul and back into the noisy chaos of the material world. They're the echoes of an old program being deleted from your system. The most powerful thing you can do when this wave of doubt hits is to place your hand on your heart, take a deep breath, and speak to this frightened part of yourself with divine compassion. Acknowledge it. I see you. I hear your fear. Thank you for trying to protect me for so long. But I am safe now. I am guided. I am choosing the path of my soul, and you are welcome to come with me into the light. In doing this, you aren't battling your ego. You're integrating it. You're loving your own shadow into wholeness, facing this guardian at the gate and consciously choosing your soul's truth over your mind's fear is the true initiation. It's the final act of self-mastery that proves you are truly ready to wield the creative power that awaits you in the sacred forge of these final 3 days. Once you've passed this test, you're no longer a seeker. You're a sovereign being ready to begin the ceremony. We have now arrived at the pinnacle. We've traversed the 7 sacred gateways of perception and activation, and we've stood before the 8th and final portal, the undeniable call to your divine mission. The symphony of your soul's purpose is now the only music you can hear. But let me be unequivocally clear, knowing the signs, understanding the map, is only the beginning. The most critical phase of this entire cosmic event isn't in the knowing, but in the navigating. The people in your life who are choosing consciously or unconsciously to remain in the denser frequencies of fear, victimhood, and limitation can no longer sustain a connection with your new energetic signature. The frequency gap has become too wide to bridge. Think of it like this. For years, you've been a ship sailing alongside a fleet. You traveled at the same speed, in the same direction, navigating the same waters. It's how you consciously and intentionally conduct yourself through these final supercharged and massively active 72 hours that will determine the trajectory of your reality for months and even years to come. The energy pouring onto the planet in these last 3 days of October is raw, untamed, and unbelievably potent. It's pure creative potential, the very plasma of creation. What follows isn't just advice. It's a sacred protocol, a step-by-step guide for walking through this fire and emerging on the other side, reborn in the dawn of November 1st. Let us consecrate these final 3 days. Don't view them as separate units of time on a calendar. See them as a single, unified, 3-act ceremony. This is your personal graduation rite, orchestrated by the cosmos itself. The first day of this sacred trinity is dedicated to the great final release. You've already experienced the involuntary purge, the waves of emotion and physical clearing. Now you must become the conscious agent of your own liberation. This is your moment to stand at the edge of your old reality, look back with gratitude and compassion at everything that has brought you to this point, and intentionally cut the final cords. Find a sacred space and time where you won't be disturbed. Take a piece of paper and begin to write. Don't think, don't censor. Simply allow your soul to speak through your hand. For those who are unprepared, who are still caught in the cross-currents of fear and distraction, this energy will feel chaotic and overwhelming. But for you, the awakened soul, the chosen one who is armed with this sacred knowledge, these 3 days aren't a storm to be weathered. They're a forge, a divine crucible in which you will consciously dissolve the last vestiges of your old limited self and temper the golden sovereign master that you have always been. Pour every last drop of the old world's poison onto that paper. When you're done, read it aloud one final time. Acknowledge these aspects of yourself. Thank them for the protection they tried to offer, for the lessons they taught you. And then, with a voice of absolute sovereignty, say, I thank you and I release you. Your contract is complete. I am free. Now take that paper to a safe place, a fireplace, a fireproof bowl, and burn it. As you watch the paper turn to ash, visualize every single energetic cord attached to your being dissolving into light. Feel the immense weight lifting from your shoulders, from your heart, from your very soul. You aren't destroying a part of you, you're liberating the energy that was trapped within it. Conclude this ceremony with a cleansing of water. Take a bath or a shower, and as the water washes over you, imagine it's the pure light of Source, rinsing away any residual energetic dust, leaving your entire being pristine clear and radiantly empty. Simultaneously, the matrix itself will conspire to distract you. A sudden, unexpected drama will erupt in your family. An old conflict you thought was resolved will resurface. An urgent but ultimately meaningless task will demand your immediate attention. These aren't random occurrences. They're the final snares of a dying paradigm designed to pull your focus away from the silent, powerful truth of your soul and back into the noisy chaos of the material world. Write down every single fear that still whispers to you in the dead of night. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of not being enough, fear of being too much. Write down every limiting belief you still hold about yourself, about money, about love, about what is possible. Write down the names of every person, situation, or memory to which you are still attached by a cord of resentment, regret, or unresolved grief. Fill the page. Fill multiple pages, if you must. The noise of the collapsing matrix is at a fever pitch, and it's designed to pull you back into its drama, to tempt you to fill your sacred new emptiness with its old fear. Don't allow it. Instead, go into nature, sit with a tree, watch the clouds, place your bare feet upon the earth, and feel the steady, loving heartbeat of Gaia. Allow her to recalibrate your nervous system. Listen, not with your ears, but with your entire being. In the silence, you'll hear the whispers of your soul more clearly than ever before. You'll feel the subtle energetic upgrades happening in your body. You'll feel your connection to your higher self, to your guides, solidifying into an unbreakable bond. This isn't a day for doing. It's a day for receiving. You're a vessel that has just been emptied, and now you're being filled with the light of the new cosmic codes. Your only job is to be still enough to allow this divine infusion to complete its work. Resisting the void is to resist the very process of your own rebirth. Embrace the stillness. Find the bliss in the emptiness, for it is from this sacred nothingness that your everything will be born. This brings us to the second day of the Trinity, the sacred void. After the great release, there will be an emptiness. This is the most misunderstood and often feared stage of any profound transformation. The 3D mind equates emptiness with lack, with loneliness, with nothingness. But the 5D soul knows that this void isn't empty. It's pregnant. It's the womb of creation. It's the quantum field in its pure, unmanifested state, shimmering with infinite possibility. Drawing on the clarity of mission you received as the 8th sign and using the power of instantaneous creation from the 7th sign, you'll now scribe your new reality into being. Again, find your sacred space. Take a new piece of paper or open a new journal. At the top of the page, write the date of a day 3 or 6 months in the future. And then you'll begin to write a letter to your present self. From that future self, write it in the past tense, as if it has all already happened. Describe your new reality in exquisite sensory detail. Dear one, you'll begin, I am writing to you from a beautiful morning in March 2026, and I am so full of joy and gratitude for the path we chose. I remember that day, at the end of October, when we finally decided, and now everything we dreamed of is our reality. I wake up each morning in a body that is vibrant and full of energy. I spend my days doing the work that makes my soul sing. I am surrounded by my soul family, and our connections are so deep and authentic. Financial abundance flows to me with ease and grace from. Imagine those emotions that future you as you put pen to paper or fingers to keyboard. Let the peace settle, in the joy bubble up, the freedom resonate, the fulfillment wash over you. Don't be surprised if tears of gratitude stream down your face, recognizing this incredible reality that you're literally pulling from the quantum field and planting firmly in your timeline. Once you've poured your heart out, read the letter aloud, speak it into existence, feel every single word vibrate within every cell of your being. This isn't just about writing a letter. You're signing a new soul contract with the universe, a contract built on your deepest joy and your divine purpose. Place this letter somewhere sacred, maybe on your altar or under your pillow, and trust. Trust that the seeds you've just planted in the fertile ground of this powerful time are already starting to sprout in realms unseen. You've done the hard work. You've cleared the space. You've set your intention. Now all that remains is to step across the threshold from October 31st into November 1st and begin living as the person who vibrates in harmony with the reality you've just claimed. To support this sacred undertaking, there are some crucial guidelines you need to follow. These aren't just suggestions. They're non-negotiable requirements for navigating this energetic peak with grace and power. First, relentlessly hydrate your physical body with the purest water you can find. Remember, you are a being of light, and water acts as a conduit for that light within your crystalline cellular structure. Dehydration can cause energetic static, and make these upgrades feel much more jarring. Second, nourish your body with high vibration foods. Think light, think color, think life force. Fresh fruits, vegetables, and clean organic foods are your allies. Avoid dense, heavy processed foods, as well as excessive sugar and alcohol. These substances can lower your frequency, making it harder for your body to integrate these new light codes. Third, you absolutely must ground yourself daily. The energies are so high and ethereal that it's easy to feel unmoored, spacey, and disconnected. As we mentioned earlier, placing your bare feet on the earth is the most effective way to ground yourself. The planet's electromagnetic field will stabilize your own, anchoring these high-frequency energies into your physical body so you can actually use them. Fourth, practice radical self-compassion. You're undergoing a metamorphosis on a level that your human mind can barely grasp. There will be moments of pure bliss, and there will be moments of deep emotional release. Don't judge any of it. Rest when your body screams for rest, even if it's the middle of the day. Cry when the tears come. Be as gentle and loving with yourself as you would be with a newborn child. Because in many ways, that's exactly what you are. And now, a final set of urgent warnings. These are the potential pitfalls, the matrix traps designed to ensnare the unwary during these final hours. Heed them carefully. Warning: do not engage with low-vibration media. The news, violent movies, conspiracy theories dripping with fear. Avoid them like the plague. Your subconscious mind is wide open and hyper-receptive right now. What you consume, you become. Feed your mind only with things that inspire, uplift, and empower you. Caution: avoid all unnecessary drama and conflict. Do not get drawn into arguments on social media or in your personal life. Remember, you're an incredibly powerful, energetic broadcaster right now. Engaging in conflict, even just as an observer, means you're lending your powerful, creative energy to amplifying that very frequency. Be an oasis of peace. Walk away. Do not engage. Your sovereignty is your shield. Critical: do not make major life-altering decisions based on old fears or external pressures. You are in a liminal in-between state. The full clarity of your new reality is still anchoring. Making decisions from the panicked energy of your old self is a recipe for regret. Wait for the deep, calm, soul-level knowing that will settle within you in the days and weeks following this transit. And finally, and most importantly, do not ignore your intuition. Your inner guidance system has never been louder or clearer. If you get a sudden intuitive urge to call someone, do it. If you feel a strong pull to visit a certain place, go. If your gut tells you a situation is off, trust it implicitly and remove yourself. Your intuition is your infallible compass through this shift. It's the voice of your higher self, guiding you step by step, moment by moment. Trust it above all else. As you stand here now on the edge of this new dawn, understand the magnitude of what you have accomplished. This transit wasn't something that just happened to you. It was a co-creation that you called forth. Every meditation, every healed trauma, every choice for love over fear was a vote you cast for this very moment. And you are not alone. All across the globe, a network of souls just like you are going through this same process. Each one of you who successfully navigates these final days becomes a luminous node in the new crystalline grid of Earth. You are the lighthouses that will guide the ships of humanity through the stormy waters of the Great Awakening. Your personal transformation is a planetary service of the highest order. As you cross the finish line of October, you're not just entering a new month, you're stepping into a new paradigm. You're walking into a new timeline that you have consciously chosen and powerfully scripted. The seeking is over. The struggle is over. You have remembered who you are. You have reclaimed your power. You have answered the call of your mission. The world you wake up to on November 1st may look the same on the surface, but you will know in the very core of your being that everything has changed because you have changed. You are the portal. You are the new beginning. So now, as we close this sacred transmission, take one final deep breath. Feel the power, the peace, and the profound certainty that fills you. You have been given the map, the tools, and the sacred guidelines. The rest is up to you. Step into these final 3 days not with fear, but with the reverence and excitement of a master creator at their magnum opus. This is your moment. The universe is watching with bated breath. If you have heard this call, if you are ready to complete this sacred ceremony and step fully into your mission as a co-creator of the new Earth, go to the comments one last time and make your final declaration to the cosmos. Type with all the power and love in your heart, "I am ready." Let this be your seal, your vow, your triumphant roar of arrival. The great work is done, and the true magic is just beginning. Welcome home.